Hello, welcome back to That's English.
Hello. Ashley and I are looking at some houses that are for sale.
Yes, my sister and her partner want to buy a run-down house and do it up.
Ah, you mean buy a house that looks like this, run down, and you do it up to make it look like this.
That's right. They're renting a lovely terraced house at the moment. Look. But they want to buy something bigger. They haven't got much money, so they're looking for a house that needs a lot of work.
You mean a cheaper house, and then they will do the repairs themselves?
Exactly. They'll do a makeover on the house. And then maybe in the future, they can sell it for a profit.
That's a good idea. They can sell it for more money than they paid for it. And in today's episode, we see Chris and his assistant Amy looking round houses too.
So here's our question for you.
What does Amy finally think about the house?
Morning. Hi, Amy. Seen anything interesting?
I like this detached house near Victoria Park, in need of modernisation, it says.
That's good. It's a nice, posh area. How many bedrooms has it got?
There are 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. There's a large garden and a pair of garages, it says.
A pair of garages? That's unusual. And good. How much are they asking?
Just over £450,000, but it needs a lot of work.
£450,000 is a lot of money. And it would cost a huge amount of money to do up a big house like that. It's too expensive, I'm afraid.
Well, what about this terraced house in Preston Road for £310,000? It looks quite run down.
That's better. It's a good residential area, convenient for the shops and station. 10 out of 10. Let's make an appointment to view this one. Oh, there's a couple of tiles missing there.
Oh, the windows aren't double glazed.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, this staircase and hall will need a bit of work.
The house has considerable charm and character.
We'll have to rewire this room. And a large piece of plaster needs to be repaired.
It'll need a complete makeover.
I have a couple of ideas.
I've got hundreds of ideas. It could look great.
You're absolutely right. It'll look great with a bit of love and care.
We need to install a new wash basin, shower and toilet.
It'll look much better with a coat of paint.
No, I think we'd have to strip the wallpaper and replaster the walls and ceiling.
So, what do you think, Amy?
I think we can do it up and make a profit.
Gosh, that house needs lots and lots of work. Don't you think so?
Yes, I do. Did you find the answer to our question?
What does Amy finally think about the house?
I think we can do it up and make a profit.
So, Amy thinks they can do it up and make a profit.
Amy thinks they can make the house beautiful and then sell it to make some more money.
In the video, we heard Amy expressing approximate numbers. Watch.
How much are they asking?
Just over £450,000. I've got hundreds of ideas.
When we don't know the exact number, we use approximate numbers. We say just over or just under to show an approximate amount.
Yes, a friend of mine paid just under £250,000 for his house.
And my new computer cost just over £750.
That's expensive.
Or if we're talking about several hundred, we can say hundreds of. Watch.
I've got hundreds of ideas. It could look great.
Or, if it's a larger number, thousands of.
Yes, I've got thousands of things to do around my house this weekend. It's such a mess.
Oh dear. Do you need some help?
Oh, that would be nice. Thanks.
In the video, we also saw Chris and Amy describing parts of whole things. Watch.
This staircase and hall will need a bit of work. And a large piece of plaster needs to be repaired.
We can use a bit or a piece of to describe part of something. For example, I really fancy a bit of cake.
Or a piece of pie.
It must be nearly lunchtime.
Sometimes, when it's a small number, we use a couple of. Watch.
Oh, there's a couple of tiles missing there.
A couple of is really only two, but we often use it to mean a few.
Yes.
We also heard them using the phrase a pair of to talk about two things that go together. Watch.
There's a large garden and a pair of garages, it says.
Yes, most houses only have one garage, but this house has two garages, a pair of garages.
Yes, we use a pair of for things that have two parts. A pair of glasses, a pair of trousers. I've just bought a new pair of curtains.
Very nice. I think Chris and Amy will need more than just a pair of curtains to make that house look better, though.
Definitely. Shall we watch the next part and find out what they do?
Yes. And here's our question.
Why does Marcus want to look around the house?
We could build a conservatory and extend the kitchen into part of the patio.
We'd need planning permission, and it'll be too expensive.
Or you could open up the kitchen into the living room.
Maybe, but it's already quite spacious and airy.
If you knocked this wall down, we could build an arch through to the dining room.
I don't think we can afford to make any major alterations.
This is going to look great when we get some nice pieces of furniture in here. Have you decided on the asking price?
Yeah, £380,000. But none of the estate agents think it'll fetch that.
You'll have no trouble selling it.
None of them have any potential buyers for the property yet.
Oh, don't be so pessimistic. Oh. Hello, it's Amy. Yes. Yes, that's right. We're doing up the house now. Yes. Well, that'll be fine. We'll see you in a minute. Someone called Marcus is outside the front door and wants to have a look at the house. He got my number from one of the estate agents. Hello.
Hello, I'm Marcus. I hope it's okay if I have a quick look round. I used to live here when I was a boy. It brings back memories. This is where my brother and I slept.
How long ago did you leave?
When my mother died, I was taken to a children's home in Scotland. That was over 40 years ago. I used to hide my treasures here. They're still here. A bag of marbles.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
What's your asking price?
We're looking for 380,000.
My nephew's looking to buy a house in this area. Perhaps I should make an offer.
Oh, you look happy.
We exchanged contracts. I bought you a bunch of flowers. They're from my allotment.
From your allotment? Wow. Thank you, Chris. That's so sweet of you.
Thank you for all your work. After estate agents' fees and stamp duty, we make a £42,000 profit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Let's go and find another house straight away. Come on.
So, why does Marcus want to look around the house?
I used to live here when I was a boy.
So the answer is Marcus lived in the house when he was a boy.
That's incredible. Marcus's bag of marbles are still in the house after all this time.
Yes, after so many years.
In the video, we heard Chris using the word none to express negative quantity. Watch.
But none of the estate agents think it'll fetch that.
You'll have no trouble selling it.
None of them have any potential buyers for the property yet.
Notice that after none of, we can use a singular or a plural verb.
For example, I've got 3 brothers, but no nieces or nephews. So I could say, none of my brothers has children, or none of my brothers have children.
If we're only talking about 2 things, we use neither of. For example, neither of my 2 cousins owns their house. They both rent.
Or neither of my 2 cousins own their house.
We talked to some people and asked them, do you currently rent or own a house?
We currently rent a house.
Yes, we currently rent a house with hopes to buy pretty soon.
I own my house, but in the past I have rented. I guess there are pros and cons to the two.
We rent at the moment. If I could afford to own, I would own. I think that's if you can afford to, you should. It's just that it's not an option for us at the moment.
I'll probably rent for a little while because getting on the housing market's difficult, but ideally I would like to kind of get a mortgage within the next kind of 3 years.
At the moment I'm renting. I'm thinking of perhaps purchasing with the help of my parents.
I own a house, but I rent the one I live in. The pros of owning is you're paying off your own mortgage, but I suppose the pros of renting is you might be able to live more central to the city.
We're renting an apartment in Toronto right now, and we are saving up to buy a house in the near future.
I am actually renting a property at the moment, and that's a good thing because you can control a lot of your finances, and you have a lot more flexibility in where you can move and in what type of property you can move into.
Yeah, we own our own house.
Well, that's interesting. It seems that more people rent than own houses.
Yes, saving the money to buy a property is difficult. I can't afford to buy a property yet.
I had to rent a flat and save for years to be able to buy my little house. Of course, it's easier when 2 people buy together.
Yes, that's right, Annabelle. Well, goodbye. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.